and then Downey Epps and John Paul Jones.
President and council members, I'm sure it's no surprise what I'm going to be talking about. I just have a sort of a plea or a question to the council. I understand, I'm curious about the status of the recommendation of award for public access. From what I've been able to find out, procurement admitted UPublic GCMA as the sole bidder. There was a judging committee. I've seen the documents. They've already judged it and voted for UPublic because they were the sole bidder. The council, to my knowledge, I've called several different assistants, and they said they haven't received it from the mayor's office. I talked to the mayor out in the hallway. He said they're looking into it. I got Isaac Padilla's card. My frustration is you have one more meeting. I thought we would have this voted one way or another before the break. You have cable subscribers right now, some of you might be them, who are paying for this service. You haven't received it in full for 7 years. Now we've got another 3 months drag out to even figure out what's going on with it to give the public the service that all of us subscribers are paying for and have not received. So I'm just asking on behalf of the cable subscribers, what is going on with the ROA? If it's in the mayor's office and it just got overlooked or something, can somebody who cares about this please look into it? I know it's probably an impossible thing. I would love to see the vote happen at the next meeting. It's probably not, but that means another 3 months that your cable subscribers who are paying for this service, this doesn't come from the city. They're paying for it and they're not getting it.
Thank you, Madam. Councilor Benson?
I just wanted to ask about, because I think you've advocated in the past for quote unquote, which I...
You know, honestly, Isaac, I don't care.
You don't care?
I just want somebody who will get the public program.
We heard ad infinitum about quote unquote, and I happen to agree that would have been our best choice. But quote unquote failed to enter just the basic paperwork that was required to be considered and to compete against the other entity. Well, so, I mean, for you to come down and say, well, we're dragging it out, you know, here was the big opportunity, right? And it wasn't even, the advocates apparently didn't have their act together.
There was what I thought was a legitimate contest of what procurement determined as a submission. And there's still a feeling amongst the community that that wasn't a fair assessment, and it wasn't just from quote unquote. All 3 other bidders had the same complaints. So there was a feeling again that there's a little bit of an issue with procurement, but that's your take versus mine.
Well, if I could respond to that, there's a process for challenging decisions that are made on procurement. And so quote unquote, you know, I mean, maybe we need a complete rundown when we do hear this from the administration about what challenges were made, what protests were made. But you know, we're in a difficult position. We're not, you know, the council doesn't operate the procurement process. We're the final signatory on it. We listen to the public, and I personally do care about what I've heard over the years and have been disappointed in the product that we've had over the past 7 years.
So just one question I have, and honestly this is just for the council. This wasn't an attack on you folks, it's a frustration because I don't understand where the stoppage is right now. I would just like an explanation to the public if this is going to be delayed, what's the legitimate reason? If not, can we get a vote?
Well, that would be a question for the administration.
Yes.
Okay, Councilor Jones has a comment related to this.
And I'm sorry to do this, but it is inappropriate to call the councillors by their first names up here.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We are. It's Councillor Benton.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Councilor Sanchez?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I have a question for Mr. Rael. I can empathize with the frustration. You are correct that they have not been in compliance for several years. UPublic and were being paid for a long time after their original contract was expired. I know this council gave them some extensions in the administration, but it's been frustrating to see what has gone on, and I'd like to ask Mr. Rael a question. Where are we at with this process?
Madam Vice Chair and Councilor Sanchez and members of the council, the RFP was issued, and we had respondents to the RFP. There were several of the respondents that were reviewed by our procurement office and were determined to be not meeting the requirements of the RFP. There has been a committee that has reviewed it. That proposal is in the mayor's office, and we are reviewing that, and it is our intent to bring that to the council. I know that our staff has been briefing you all about the status of the situation. We're equally as frustrated as you all are because we did not necessarily get the responses we thought we were going to get, but we're moving the issue forward, and it should be before the council. We should be able to introduce that in the next council meeting. Because
Channel 26, the current provider, is no longer doing services with the city, and the station's gone black. Is that correct?
Madam Vice Chair and Councilor Sanchez, that's correct in general. However, we are going to step in to do some of that work, to provide some programming in that station, so it is not completely dark, but we are as interested, as I said earlier, in getting this resolved. But it has been a challenge simply because of the issues associated with the number of folks that have responded and the fact that most of them did not complete the proposal as it was first sent out. So, but we are moving forward.
And I hope we can get it done as quickly as possible because, again, the ratepayers are paying for this service and not being provided a station because the station is black.
I agree.
Thank you, ma'am. Danny X.